Hello, it's Lori from Peace, Love, and Therapy. I wanted to come and talk to you today a little bit about a conference I went to. It's been a couple weeks earlier this month. And I did a breakout session, 10 steps to take it when your kid comes out as trans, because I work with so many trans teens and their families. And I think that went really well. But the part I wanted to talk about is what I experienced and what I learned. One of the things I learned is what we're learning sort of in this community working with transgender people or gender nonconforming people is that therapy is important. Therapy is helpful to so many people. But there are a couple of things that may be even more helpful. And when I say helpful, I mean less symptoms of depression, less feelings of I want to jump off the planet, um, um, less sort of symptoms, less distressing days. And those two things are hormone treatment. I've experienced this so much in my practice when I see someone um, start hormone treatment, they become so much lighter. People who before maybe weren't very expressive or were feeling really low a lot come in and there's this a lightness to them. So that's one of the most important ways to treat depression or hormones. And the other is other trans people, other people who are not gender conforming, other people who understand what it's like to be on this journey. Um, so I say find your tribe. Um, so in light of that, I am going through setting up some groups for people in my community. I'm in Wichita, Kansas. And I'm thinking a lot about um, making sure that people have information about steps they might want to take, such as hormone therapy. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone at every time in their life. They may not be ready to start that or not quite sure or of a certain age. So, but making sure they have information and they have access to providers and that they have support from other trans people and know how to find each other. And that takes the look of, for instance, a mentoring group, which we're starting where uh, young trans people in their 20s who are out doing life will mentor high school through college age trans people who are just sort of getting started in life and maybe have some fears that I won't be loved, I won't be able to get a job, those kinds of things that people maybe who are a little further along the path in life can help them navigate and give some hope. And the others in terms of groups is a therapy group where people can process some things with each other. Because I want to be helpful to my trans clients. I hope that I am. But I also think that they could be really helpful to each other. And so I want to make sure that they're able to find and connect with one another. So those are some things that I learned at the conference. I learned some things about gender noise. I learned some great concepts that I'll be continuing to learn and study about and implement with my clients. I did want to tell you a story about a really moving experience that has to do with this idea of tribe. Is that in one of the last sessions at the conference, and again, it's Gender Infinity Conference in Houston. It's an annual conference. It's amazing because there's a great sort of diversity of the people there. There are lots of people who are gender nonconforming or transgender. The people around them, their families. There was a kids group. There's medical providers, medical students, um, other therapists, just social workers, just a great sort of cross cut of people who are involved with the transgender community. But in one of the last sessions, the person speaking was a transgender person who had done a whole lot for the community, Latinx community in Houston. And they asked all of the transgender people in the room to stand up. I'm going to guess there were at least over 100 transgender people. Um, and when they stood up, you could see the great diversity of this experience of being gender nonconforming. Um, just every size, shape, race, every kind of wonderful presentation of who they are. And what the speaker had to say was, I should have written it down, but along the lines of, we see you, we need you, you're valuable. Um, and everyone was crying. I, of course, was crying because I'm a crier. But everyone in the room, it seemed, was very moved by this sort of affirmation. And not, it wasn't someone else giving it to them, it was them supporting each other. That seems so powerful to me. As much as I'm an ally and I have been walking for 45 years with my wife down this road, and I try to support people in my community and my clients. I'm not transgender, and I'm not sure that any of us who are cisgender can really provide the kind of support that transgender people can provide for each other. So that was a really powerful moment for me, and I was really grateful to be in the room. And I was really grateful to get the strong message that we need to help people connect with one another, and that we need to do whatever we can to be supportive, finding spaces and ways to communicate for people who are trans. So we'll be doing a lot more of that in our community based on what I learned there. But I wanted to share that with you because for me it was very moving. My wife, who would have normally been with me, had band contests, so she wasn't there, and I really wish that she was there. I wish that every client that I have, every person that I know personally that was trans, was able to be in that room and to see that kind of support. I think it's rare for a transgender person to be around that many other trans people all in one place, all at a place where the whole focus was on supporting with and connecting with and being advocates for the trans community. So I want to share that with you. And I want to encourage you to find your tribe. And it doesn't necessarily have to be other trans people, although I think that's powerful, but find people who support you. Find people who will listen. Find people who are willing to talk to you so you can be supportive of them. I think that's so powerful. That's why our mentoring group, I think, will be powerful because people will be, trans people will be supporting other trans people. So find your tribe. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to other people in your community. Reach out to me. I'll tell you what I know about it. Um, but it can be a really, really powerful way to connect and receive some validation and get some ideas and give some ideas to help some other people. So, any comments you have about this, put them below, or contact me directly at Peace, Love, and Therapy. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.